feel like we need to catch up. I hope you're all doing really well, guys. Just had the food delivery come. HelloFresh has arrived. Hello, my darling. Hello. And we're all sorted for the week food-wise. I do actually still have a discount code for HelloFresh. I'll pop the QR code up here. My code SHAN2026 gets you 50% off your first box, then 20% off the next 4 boxes, and you get free treats in there as well. But anyway, I'll show you a little bit later with the HelloFresh stuff. But we have a lot to talk about. So a lot of you will already know that we are in the process of trying to buy a house and selling our house. And we've had some issues, significant ones, along the way, but long story short, our buyers are in a position where their mortgage offer is running out and they won't be able to renew it because interest rates have gone up. I don't really know what it is. I think their circumstances might have changed slightly, but their current mortgage offer is still in place until the end of June. So we have now got until then to basically get out of this house, otherwise we will lose our buyers, which is not something we want to happen. And we were very much in the position of like, we will not move out of this house until the house that we want is available to move into. However, there's been some developments, not really on our side, because that house is still going through probate. So the probate is basically passing down a house of someone that's passed away to their next of kin, like the person in their will. That process is still going on, but it just so happens that family members of ours are looking to move house. They are currently in a house where we live and they are moving elsewhere into a rented property, and they were looking to rent their current owned house out. They currently live in a property near us and they own that house. They were looking to rent a new house somewhere else and rent out the house that they currently live in. Now, it just so happens that we are actually in need of a house to live in if we want to keep these buyers. And so if the timelines work out and everything goes to plan, we might be moving into that house for a little while in the meantime, whilst we're waiting for the probate to come through on the house that we actually want to buy. There are some caveats to this, and there are definitely some risks that we're taking with this, because although our buyers can move into this house and we will have sold this house, the mortgage that we have on this house, we were hoping to port to the next house. And we can do that, however, we have to move within 6 months, otherwise we have to pay the early repayment fees on our mortgage, which aren't cheap. Our total early repayment fees would be £7,500 if we don't move into the new house, like porting the mortgage over within 6 months. So if we do move into our family member's house, in the meantime, while we're waiting for the probate to go through, we only have 6 months from when we move in there to move into our new house. And there's really no guarantee that that will absolutely happen, although it is end of chain and all we're waiting for is the legal stuff. You don't know how long that's going to take. We think, given that we have until the end of June, from the end of June onwards would be when the 6 months starts. We hope, given the fact that probate had been started already, in total would be like 9 to 10 months. In total, that should be a long enough time for the probate situation to go through. It is a risk, however, it's a risk I think we're willing to take. It's not 100% certain that this is absolutely happening. There is a lot of ifs, buts, maybes involved, but you know what? The timing of it is all way too convenient and like almost like it's meant to be a little bit for us not to grasp the opportunity to not lose our buyers. And worst case scenario is we are living in there for a little bit longer than we thought and we do have to pay the early repayment fee. The benefit of paying the early repayment fee is when we move to the new house, we'll have 1 mortgage product rather than what would be 3 mortgage products. Now, the reason for that is because when we first moved into a house that we bought, we had a mortgage. Then we moved to this house, so we ported that mortgage over to this and added an extra one on. So that's 2 mortgage products. Then we're going to move house again and we're going to add another one on. So that will be 3 mortgage products, all at different rates, all at different like terms, and all of their fixed terms finish at different times. And so it is a little bit annoying, if I'm honest. Not the end of the world, but a tad annoying. So by paying the early repayment fee on the current mortgages that we have, we would then get one big mortgage, and it would be 1 term, 1 mortgage rate, fixed term for the same length of time, and it would be a lot simpler to renew and things like that. Especially given that I'm self-employed, every time you have to renew like a part of each mortgage, you have to go through the process of like being vetted and stuff to see if you're eligible for that part of the mortgage again. And although everything's going well at the moment, you don't know that's going to be the case every single year. But that does mean that we don't have very long until we move, whether that is into the actual house that we want, because fingers crossed, you know, there is a chance, I guess, that we could complete on that within the next couple of months. although it's unlikely. But if not, we are probably going to still be moving into a different house anyway. So that is basically our plan. And also financially it would work out really well for us. Not necessarily paying the early repayment fee, obviously, subject to us not having to do that. Monthly, it would work out cheaper for us because we would just be paying our family members the amount that it costs them to pay off their mortgage, which is much cheaper than ours because they're on a much lower rate than us. So it works out that we would actually be about £600 better off a month while we're living in that house, which would give us more time to put that money aside for either the early repayment fees, if we do have to spend them, or renovations, or overpaying on our mortgage when we then get the mortgage next time, or meaning that we don't have to borrow as much money because we'll have more money in a deposit. So I think we're going to do it. Which means packing and lots of other things in a very short period of time. But I mean, I think it's doable. But be honest, do you think that we're insane? Do you think we should just stay in this house and do it the normal way? Or is it too much of a good opportunity to miss? I don't know, we'll see. The next day now. I have had a whole day of working from home, doing lots of bits and bobs. Both the kids are in school/childcare and I feel like I've actually been a little bit more productive today. I just cannot stop thinking about this big decision that we've got about the house move and whether it's even gonna like all align and everything, whether it's the best opportunity for us to take or the worst decision for us to make. Like, I just don't know. I just feel like everything is in other people's hands at the moment and I just hate it because there's nothing we can do. And if anyone knows anything about me, it is that I like to make plans and execute them and make things happen, and I'm a doer, not a sit back and just go with the flow kind of person. I'm just not. I've tried to be, I'm just not. And so yeah, it's just messing with my head, to be honest. But it is coming up to 3:30. George is getting picked up by my mum and they're both coming back here. She's going to come over for dinner. I am cooking us HelloFresh tonight. It is one of the kids' favourites. Basically, just really fancy fish fingers and chips. Crispy Mexican style fish goujons and spiced chips. Homemade, delicious, 10 out of 10 elite. And you know what it is? The ingredients in it are really, really nice. Like what bassa fillets, proper fish. It's going to be so good. And to be honest, I personally do not feel like I always have the time to sit down and do a proper full-on meal plan. Think of all the ingredients we've got to buy, what we're going to have every single day of the week. And also, I don't really want to be buying loads of ingredients for the cupboards when I know we're going to be moving house, potentially. So I just find HelloFresh is just good and easy and simple, and I just love it. And honestly, as someone that has used HelloFresh now for 5 years, I don't ever see myself not having it as my fallback plan for those stressier times. I've got my discount code SHAN2026, which gets you 50% off your first box and then 20% off the next 4 boxes, and you get some free treats in there as well. I'll pop the QR code up on the screen and I will show you what our dinner looks like at the end. If you're looking for healthy, delicious, not time consuming dinners, use the discount, you will not regret it.
Yeah.
Could you and just using a knife really well. What fun doing exercises together?
Nine.
Okay.
So
You've been learning about tadpoles at school?
yeah, well there's one there, well there's some there,
What comes before a tadpole?
Frog spoon.
Yeah, you're right. What comes after a tadpole?
Tablets.
Yeah, you're right. George's in the bath and Hallie just keeps running in, opening the door and then shutting it and running out. She comes. Why does she keep doing that? Maybe she doesn't want to get in the bath. I'm just taking my makeup off. I tend to do this when the kids are having their bath. Normally, I either get in the bath first, then they use my bath, or I have a shower just before they have their bath. And then do my skincare and brush my teeth, and then I'm ready for bed if I fall asleep in their bed, which I do about 50% of the time these days. Have you used soap to wash your face, darling? Or was it just water? How do you think I'm going to get Hallie into the bath?
Tell Hannah there's sweet in the bath.
No, I can't lie to her, darling.
Why?
Don't do that. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I want to go.
There you go.
Hey? Get another.
You want me to go in my room or your room?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this room.
George's room.
Yes.
Okay. Daddy's just walking, Molly. What's wrong?
Go.
What's wrong? I am literally soaked. That was like wrestling a cat into a bath. That was horrific. And now the bathroom basically looks like the swimming pool changing rooms at Leisure Centre. If you know, you know. Once I have got into that toddler bed, does it look like I'm coming back out of it? Probably not. Sometimes I'm lucky and I get to do bedtime and then I don't fall asleep and then it's like, I don't know, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock and I've still got a smidgen of evening left. But 9 times out of 10, I'm like this and then I crawl out of my kid's bed, into my bed, open my book, fall asleep reading. That's basically where we got to, and I'm not even 28 yet. My 40s are gonna be wild, I'll promise you that. One thing that tomorrow morning before is using this. I am going to use this, which is just a gradual moisturiser, gradual tinted moisturiser, like a tan lotion thing. I've used it for years and years and years. It costs £6 for a big bottle like this, and it's so good. Doesn't streak, gives you a glowy tan, but not like an orange tan, if that makes sense. Literally the only thing I use. I'm gonna use it now, and then I'm gonna do bedtime. See you later.
You needed me like a cargo, you will carry me. I just hope you know my depth, even though it makes no sense. Sometimes I'm broken, too much of emotion. Sometimes I'm the lightning, don't wanna pick a fight with.
School run. I've just dropped both the kids off and I'm starving, haven't had any breakfast, but I'm gonna have a cup of tea with some collagen in it. I've actually been really liking this. It's from Free Salt and it doesn't have any taste, which every other collagen that I've ever tried, any other marine collagen I've ever tried, has tasted like fish, which is grim, and this doesn't. I'm also in the middle of reading Onyx Storm, which is the 3rd book in the Fourth Wing series. It's the last one that's been released, and I am so fully invested in that book, it's not even funny. Literally a year ago, I would have been like, nah, I'm never reading a book. Like what, like I don't read. I hadn't read since I was probably, like properly, since I was like 15, 16. I think I'd read a couple of standalone books about like politics or biographies or autobiographies or whatever, but never like a story book until I started reading to George. I started reading like proper stories to him, like the Harry Potter books, like the earlier ones, like the not scary parts, and some Enid Blyton books as well. And then late last year, I started reading again. My friend recommended me this book series called The Boys of Tommen series. I know I've mentioned it on here before, and I know that anyone who has read it will be screaming right now because it is literally the best series all time. I love it so much, and since then, that's what got me back into reading. I've listened to those audiobooks 3 times over. There's like, how many, 6 books in that series, and I've listened to the audiobooks 3 times whilst I'm doing housework, whilst I'm washing up, whilst I'm editing, and I've read the physical books once through the whole way through, and then that's what got me back into reading. Then I got onto BookTok and started getting all the recommendations for the Windy City series, Elsie Silver, if you know, you know. And then I did delve into the fantasy world and started with ACOTAR, and I was just so hooked. I was like, nothing will be able to compare to this series ever. Like, this is the best thing. I mean, in the fantasy world, like Binding 13 and the Boys of Tommen series are definitely my favourite real world series, but fantasy-wise, ACOTAR is like amazing. I don't see how anything is going to compare to that. I'm now reading the Fourth Wing books, and I do really like them. I still prefer ACOTAR, definitely, but I do really like the series and I really like the characters. But I actually borrowed those ACOTAR books from one of the mums at school, and she was like, if you love this, you have to read Throne of Glass. And I was like, oh, it seems a bit daunting. Plus, it's not as like spicy as the ACOTAR ones, which I really like that element. Like, that's the really fun element for me. And the Throne of Glass stuff doesn't have that in, apparently. And it's 8 books, which is just like, again, really daunting. But I feel like I'm going to do it. After Fourth Thing, I'm going to have a hangover. So I'm going to need something to go into, and in between those I'm just going to read the last book of the Windy City series, which is just like a sports romance book, so I think I'm going to go for that afterwards, just to like, I don't know, just decompress a little bit from the fantasy world and then dive into Throne of Glass. I cannot express to you how much reading has like changed a lot for me. So I am not someone that particularly has hobbies. Like, I mean, this started off as a hobby, like filming and recording and editing and all that kind of stuff, but now it's my job. I kind of, it's not the thing I go to switch off. It's something I do to like, it's my work, do you know what I mean? So it's really nice to have a hobby and something that I'm really, really engrossed in. I just cannot tell you how much I love it. And honestly, if someone had told me a year ago that I'd be like into books, I'd be like, no, I won't. And yeah, I could not have been more wrong. I think it's about the kind of books. I need accessible, I need fun, I need sometimes lighthearted, sometimes I need escapism. I just need it to not be like high convoluted like literature. I just need it to be fun and easy, and I just love it. I'm just absolutely obsessed. And I just walked Hallie all the way to nursery and all the way back, which is like an hour round trip, and I love listening to the podcasts that are then talking about these books whilst I'm walking. I just feel like I'm like part of something. I know it sounds so silly, but I feel like I'm like part of something that everyone else gets as well, and like friends of mine that know now that I'm reading, we're all talking about it. I'm just like, oh, I love this little community of things. And none of it is about real life, which is nice, because I feel like real life can get a bit heavy sometimes. If anyone has any recommendations book-wise, leave them down in the comments, because I will definitely get them on my reading list. As of right now, these are the ones I'm going to tackle next. These are the ones I've read in the Fourth Wing series. The Onyx Storm one is out on my bedside table. These are all the Throne of Glass ones, and then this is the light-hearted one that I'm going to read in between. So League of Her Own, which is just like an added one on the back of the Windy City series, which I really, really loved. Then I'm going to tackle these. I think I'm also going to try and read Crescent City, which is the other series, like massive, thick old books, like a trilogy, I'm pretty sure. From the same author as Throne of Glass, before she releases the next 2 ACOTAR books, which I'm really looking forward to. And I really want to get like some jewellery or a t-shirt or something with like something on, like fantasy related. I actually saw something that was advertised to me on Instagram, and it was like a t-shirt similar to this, like a baggy t-shirt that said Violent Little Thing over it, which I thought was really cool. That's from the Fourth Thing series. Or one that depicts Valaris, which is from ACOTAR. But then I've also seen jewellery with like really nice different kind of fantasy related stuff on it. I just really want something. If anyone knows where I can get stuff like that, let me know as well. I'm starving, so I'm going to make myself something in the frying pan. I'm gonna go eggs, avocado situation. I also got this chili crisp thing. Oh my god, it's amazing. It makes everything taste so good. Okay, I am gonna have this now, and then I think I'm gonna leave you to the day. Anyway, back to the real world. I've got loads of stuff to do, loads of washing, loads of cleaning, and I am going to pick you up another time. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that you're still enjoying the vlogs, even though it feels like not much is happening and I feel like we're very much in a stagnant place. But fingers crossed, with the opportunity potentially to be moving house in a month or so into the accommodation that we mentioned, like maybe that will be a thing that happens. It's just life, isn't it? Like nothing ever seems to go to plan. Oh, I didn't even mention, but the car's also got loads of issues with it now as well. I'm just like, I can't even believe one thing after the other is just constantly happening. But it kind of is what it is. We can't really change it. We kind of just have to go with it and deal with it as it comes. But yeah, anyway guys, I will catch up with you really soon and update you when I can. For now guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.